Welcome to the Genesis Mindset, the Atropa Ecosystem, pDAI. It's on one. I'm on one. We're going to go over some charts again before things start to really heat up, which it really looks like things are very much starting to heat up. So first of all, shout out to James, my boy James, who flew over from Manji. He bought me a plant. What a sweet guy. He bought me a plant, and this is a cutoff from the plant, and my other little leaf, I think maybe it didn't like me touching it, and so she kind of is a little bit dead. So I'm pretty devastated about that because she was a beautiful, beautiful leaf. But anyway, I won't bore everyone too much with plant stories, but let's get straight into the charts. Just tell me where there are better charts. So first, obviously, at the moment, the macro environment is incredibly bullish. The macro environment is exceptional. It's really starting to skew in the direction of Ethereum. Bitcoin is still looking good, but flows are starting to head towards Ethereum. So this is bullish. This is bullish for Pulsechain. And so Pulsechain price, okay, yes, it's very low, but we're just using it as a measuring stick for the rest of the Atropa ecosystem. So honestly, I was talking about this with one of my boys. I won't mention his name, but he knows who he is if he watches this. How good are these charts compared to what you would get in Solana? And I've mentioned this so many times in videos. Okay, sure, you might get a quick first run gain if you're super, super lucky with tokens on Solana, but then it's dead. And the percentage and the chance of them dying is very, very high. But look at the Atropa ecosystem charts. They are just gorgeous. Not only are they gorgeous, not only are they really just artwork, what they represent within the wider crypto market is very critical, which still nobody's really talking about, I believe, except for me. And this is really something that's blowing my mind. Where is my bloody arrows? The reason why I don't put this on favorites is because it always ends up disappearing. Here we go. Here's my arrows. So we can very clearly see we've had bullish, then it goes into bearish, then it goes into bullish, then it goes into bearish, then once again it goes into bullish, and then once again it goes into bearish, and now it's entering into bullish again. And look at the regularity. Well, now it's bullish, and now it remains to be seen what's going to happen here. In my opinion, it's going to be bullish simply because of where we are in the wider crypto market. But obviously we can always get surprised because this is cryptocurrency and anything can happen. So just look at this. Even as I start to add these cute little blue arrows everywhere, like, what a work of art. This is just a spectacular work of art. So the Atropa ecosystem, the opportunities that you've gotten to be in profit have been very, very, very significant. So pretty much as of today's price, based on the US dollar, you would be in profit every single day, wherever you bought it, since it was created in 2023. So 2 years ago, except for 2 weeks, you would be in profit. Unless you bought the most recent top back in December, you would be in profit. That's exceptional. So not only is it exceptional, the points that you've had to reaccumulate at very, very good prices have been abundant. One, people hate low prices and dips. I love them. 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 Especially when you get ratios like this, you can do really good swaps, because now the aim of the game for me is all about token accumulation. It's all about becoming an established presence on Pulsechain. I want to be a presence here for life. For as long as this blockchain survives, I want to be a presence. And so I believe the Atropa ecosystem has already established itself as a considerable presence, and it's continuing to establish itself as a considerable presence. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, the possibilities, in my opinion, are very, very, very good for a very bullish few months. So I'm anticipating something like this, possibly even a breakout. And as we go into October, November, I'm even anticipating a third bullish wave. Okay, is a bit excessive because it goes to ridiculous numbers, but I'm anticipating a third bullish wave where we could see Atropa get up to $30, $40, $50. So if we take the fib extension and we go from, is it top to bottom or bottom to top? I will have to verify this, but I'm quite sure. Yeah, I think it's, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it'll almost get to $1 and then have a decent pullback. Yeah, maybe it'll get to almost $1, have a decent pullback, then off she goes, and then we could see something like this. It all really depends, but it really depends how crazy the rest of the market is going. But nevertheless, you've had 2 years, and every single day you would be in profit if you bought the Atropa ecosystem. What other chart is as good as this? What other cryptocurrency ecosystem is creating our own micro bullish and bear scenarios? This unlocks my mind for the potentials of the bear market. What actually happens with the Atropa ecosystem in the bear market? So I'm not going to go through all the charts. I'm going to continue to talk about this because this is, in my opinion, this is where the alpha is at. This is where the alpha is at. So this is Atropa to down. So Atropa to down, what happens if over the next several months, down, keeps going down until it gets to a ridiculous ratio against Atropa? And then what are we going to see with Atropa? Where I was drawing Atropa going up like this to $30, everything's going schizo, everybody's euphoric. What's going to happen? I believe, and I hope, something like this is going to happen. We're going to see an epic rebound in down, like epic rebound in down. And so down to Atropa is just going to fly. So with your Atropa, you can swap it into down, and then it's going to fly. And then basically through this kind of a ratio, you can do a 10x on your Atropa tokens, for example. And then, what if then this kickstarts the same game? So it's because down is just another token that's being used to push value through the ecosystem. It's being used as a momentum, as a motion generator. It's flowing value throughout the system. So whether or not people control enough supply to be selling against Atropa and deliberately pushing the ratio down, or of course, I mean, you can look at a scenario like this and there's obviously deliberate selling into Atropa. But I believe that this can reverse. I really, really do, because I do think inevitably Atropa is going to have some kind of considerable pullback. But what if the pullback only lasts? What if the pullback becomes something like this and it comes back to our channel and then away we go? We head off back into our little seasons where we just keep doing this while everybody else is getting wrecked in the bear market. The Atropa ecosystem is creating its own little decentralized, it's micro decentralized ecosystem, but it's not really micro because it gets bigger by the day. With every new token that gets created, it's just getting bigger and bigger forever. So what if something like this happens? Or perhaps even something more wild where we really swing below and then start to break in. Maybe it's going to be down for a while. It'll hover around, then it will break in. Who knows? There's lots of different scenarios, but I am hoping that during the bear market, because of the way that the liquidity has been set up, this is the holy grail where we can separate ourselves from the rest of the bull market, the rest of the cryptocurrency market, which realistically we already have. We really already have. We have been buffeted more with the macro market bullishness, but we've still really had our own independent cycles. That is really something I'm astounded not enough people are talking about. This is a decentralized financial system. So by rights, if it's to succeed, it should continue to function through a bear market. It shouldn't be beholden to the rest of the bear market. If enough liquidity gets sucked into the system, that's the real key with the Atropa ecosystem. So I might just, look, and then just very quickly, just these continual examples of ratios. If you're a token accumulator, it's not all about now. This is where it just changes the whole game. It's not all about just buying tokens and waiting for a top and selling. You've got this whole new way of looking at cryptocurrency with the mints and the burns and the dynamics that are created through this. When Maria just tanked the absolute crap out of Fed, and well, actually, I better not say that, but all I know is that I've had boys talk to me and DM me and tell me how thankful that they are that I was talking about this down here and down here when there's opportunities. And some of them are telling me that wow. Yeah, so there's some serious gains here for people. So there's like 30Xs here. So some of them are telling me that I could have potentially set their families up, but this is a very humbling and beautiful thing to hear, because that's what it's all about. And these are the types of people that I know as well have the good heart. That's why they resonate with this content. That's why they're attracted to this content. That's why they're attracted to the Atropa ecosystem. I've always argued that there's a consciousness dimension with Pulsechain, and particularly with the Atropa ecosystem. So again, the burn mint, but not only that, the ratios that get represented across the Atropa ecosystem because of the liquidity web. It's just endless excitement. So I just wanted to basically bring a few of these ideas together again, because I feel like they're very, very important to continue to discuss, to continue to share, because it's things that really nobody's talking about, which is baffling to me. It's baffling. Why is nobody talking about how damn good these charts are? Why is everybody still wanting more when the charts we have now is already phenomenal? They are better than literally... What other chart is comparable to that in all of cryptocurrency? Can you please find me one that is as good as that? That's as stable and solid and as that. It's based on math. It's based on principles. It's based on logic of liquidity pools and balancing and percentages and ratios. It's a truly decentralized financial system. It's a financial backing system that's been created through the Atropa ecosystem. It's a beautiful thing. It's only going to be a matter of time before this goes viral. It's really only going to be a matter of time. I believe that now in my heart. As I mentioned earlier, we had James that I met. We had a non-profit meeting for the Australian DeFi community. I'm going to leave a link to the Telegram below. This is inevitable. This is inevitable. This is actually happening. The time is now. If you've put your energy into something in the past and you thought, oh, my time is just going to get wasted, the energy is going to fade. The energy is not going to fade. The energy is not going to fade because it's coming from the source. The universe wants to birth this into existence. I know that for a fact because it's just everything is synchronistically aligning. So really join. The people that came and we met on that weekend, some of them traveled, well, I mean, James traveled from Manjimup, the other side of Australia. And it was really, I mean, it's a really bizarre thing when people meet me. They're like, oh, I'm going to get a friend. I'm going to get a picture of you, show my friends. I'm like, boys, I'm just a regular dude. We're all here together. But I loved it. I came back to the meditation center. We had such a blast. We continued to talk about Pulsechain. It was so good to be able to talk about the Atropa ecosystem in a fluid way. I had my whiteboard, I had my pen, and they were asking me questions, and I was talking to them. And I've never been in this kind of a setting where I'm talking seamlessly about the Atropa ecosystem. It's like this. I'm just communicating these ideas, or sometimes I do it live to hope for like a feedback loop, and in the chats and trying to learn everything. But when you're in a scenario like that where there's this fluid, connected dynamic, it was really, boy, it was epic. Boy, it was epic. I have to say, it was probably my favorite Atropa episode. If it was recorded, it would be like a mind-blowing episode. And even the drawing, the boys were like, the drawing's a work of art. And I was like, oh my gosh, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? It really feels and looks like a work of art. Why? Because we're on the edge of truth here. We're on the edge of something that is miraculous. We're on the edge of true and genuine innovation in all elements of money. So with that, take care, everybody, and get excited.